Good morning everyone and welcome to my kitchen, and today is another Cheat Meal Monday, and today it is going to be cast iron cooking. I hope you stay tuned. And welcome to Cheat Meal Monday, and today we are going to make Texas rice, and we are going to be using a Dutch oven, a cast iron, and it comes from this cookbook, the Amish Cook's Family Favorite Recipes. From now on, whenever I have a used book, I'm going to look for that book on Amazon, and I will share with you the link to the book. A lot of these books are anywhere from $3 to $6, and I know you enjoy the books. So let's get started on our South Texas rice. I wanted to cook on an open fire with my cast iron, but we've had such heavy rain, it just wasn't feasible today. But keep looking, in the future I will be using my cast iron outside on an open fire. So today it calls for 1/2 pound of ground beef, and we are going to saute that with 1 green pepper and 1 red pepper and 1 onion. So for me, this ground beef was really expensive, and you know the ground turkey was even more expensive. So it was $6.29 for this, but if we use only half of it, we're only using $3 worth. So far we have a real frugal meal. So we're going to take half of this, because it's a pound, so we're going to take half of this, we're going to saute this. Now this looks a little bit less than a half a pound, but that's okay. Like I said, we go light on the meat. And as you can see, I have my onions and I have my peppers. Woohoo! And I really got into these food choppers, and I wanted to see if you can actually chop peppers up in it. And you can. So here's my peppers and here's my onions. So we're going to add the peppers and we're going to add the onions to our 1/2 pound of ground beef. Alright, so let's get sauteing this. Here is the green pepper. I love this thing so much. It works so great. I'm going to make sure we get everything out. I'm going to go ahead and get my spatula. So I'll get my spatula and clean these out off camera. So the next thing we're going to do is, now we have to go ahead and saute it. Alright, we'll get working on this, and then we add the other ingredients. Here, the recipe at the end of this video. Isn't that beautiful? Look how pretty that is. Isn't this beautiful? So everything we're making is in this one pot. What we're going to do is we're going to drain off the fat when it's done sauteing. So when it's finished browning and I drained off the fat, I'll get back to you and show you what we do next. So now we're going to add our other ingredients. Now it calls for 1 jalapeno, but I don't like hot peppers, so I'm skipping that. It calls for 2 cups of uncooked white rice and 4 cups of tomato juice. So I'm going to add the tomato juice first, and then I'll add the 2 cups of rice. So it's 4 cups of tomato juice, okay. Then it calls for 2 cups of rice. We're going to stir that in. Now Now this is 3/4 cups intervals, so I'm just going to add a little there. Okay. And now it calls for our seasonings. It calls for 1 to 2 teaspoons of taco seasoning. I'm only going to use 1 teaspoon of it. I may add the other teaspoon if it isn't strong enough, but we're going to add 1 teaspoon of taco seasoning, 1 teaspoon of chili seasoning, and we're going to add 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Now I gotta show you something. So I bought one of these at Dollar Tree and the holes were really big. I wasn't thinking. I put a little bit of rice in this salt to keep it from clumping. Well, the rice comes out with the holes. I know people. This is just how Tessie is. But for this it doesn't matter because we have rice in it. So I'm gonna go with 1 teaspoon of salt and it has a couple pieces of rice in it. Oh my goodness. Alright, and it calls for 1 to 2 teaspoons of fajita seasoning. I don't have that and I'm not spending for it. Then it calls for 1 tomato chopped. Some tomatoes that need to get used up and they're tiny, so we're going to just chop up these tomatoes. I'm going to use 2 of them chopped up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on this and we're going to keep the lid on for 1/2 hour to simmer. Alright, let me go wash my hands. And this is what it looks like. It looks so good. So we're going to put the lid on this and we're going to let it simmer for 30 minutes. Look how good this looks. It turned out amazing. Now, this is a cheap meal. If you really want to make it really cheap, don't have any ground beef in it and have it as a side dish. Add a little bit of cheese. And some sour cream. And we have a wonderful meal. But let's taste it. Let's give it a taste test and see if it really is as good as it looks. Wow, that is really good. I know I say it every time, but this was a new recipe for me. I'm going to mark it in my book. It's amazing. Don't buy any Spanish rice packets in the grocery store. This is 10 times better, and it's so simple, and it's so frugal. Omit the meat, and you have a real frugal meal. I hope you give it a try. It's really good. And it's a winner. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Fanny's Diary. We're on April the 8th, 1943. Fanny writes, "Today was a nice day. I house cleaned the living room and kitchen. They took the water tank out of the kitchen and the junk men came and took the old furnace." So I'm going to share with you a little story. For the longest time, I really wanted to get more butter to can it. But butter is so expensive here. You can get butter, 1 pound, it's usually around $4. I had a group of friends say a little prayer for me that I would find some butter. I know it's the simple things in life, and some people would think it's rather quite funny to pray for some butter. But I really wanted to have some because I wanted to have some in my pantry. We went to the bank on Friday and we just went to the grocery store Wise Market. Now I don't shop here, but I wanted to get a 1/2 gallon of milk. And lo and behold, they had their butter on sale, $2 for a pound. That is way cheaper than anywhere else I've ever seen it. Even the local discount grocery store, when they have butter, which is very seldom, do they have it at that price. So my friends, prayers do answer. Even the small prayers, even the prayers that really aren't that important. I think it's great. and I can't wait to share with you my canning of butter this week.